Once upon a time, Air India was the pride of the nation. The Maharaja ruled the skies, connecting India to the world with elegance and prestige. But today, we're going to tell you the heartbreaking story of how this aviation giant fell from grace. And tragically, how this story took an even darker turn just days ago. Let's go back to 1932. JRD Tata, the visionary industrialist, founded Tata Airlines with just one plane, a Puss Moth aircraft. The first flight carried mail from Karachi to Madras, and aviation history in India was born. After independence in 1947, Tata Airlines became Air India, and by 1953, it was nationalized. This was the golden era. Air India was a symbol of India's progress. The airline was known for its impeccable service, beautiful air hostesses in saris, and the iconic Maharaja mascot created by Bobby Kuka. Air India was the first Asian airline to fly jets, the first to have all-jet fleet, and the first to fly over the North Pole. The airline connected India to the world, and Indians felt proud seeing the tricolor soaring across international skies. But then came the 1970s and 80s. Government control meant bureaucracy, red tape, and political interference. While private airlines worldwide were becoming more efficient, Air India was stuck in government processes. The problems started piling up. Overstaffing became a massive issue, political appointments over merit-based hiring, routes were decided by politics, not profitability, ancient aircraft that needed constant maintenance, poor customer service as competition wasn't a concern. The 1990s brought liberalization to India, but Air India remained a government entity. Private airlines like Jet Airways started eating into its market share with better service and modern aircraft. The 2000s were brutal for Air India. The merger with Indian Airlines in 2007 was supposed to create a stronger entity, but instead, it created a bloated, inefficient monster. The numbers tell the story. By 2010, Air India was losing 20 Indian rupees crores every single day, debt reached a staggering 70,000 Indian rupees crores, employee-to-aircraft ratio was among the worst in the world, on-time performance was embarrassing. Strikes and labor disputes became regular. The final nail in the coffin came with the Boeing 787 Dreamliner order. Air India ordered 68 aircraft worth $11 billion, but delays in delivery and technical issues meant the airline couldn't utilize them efficiently. The debt kept mounting. By 2020, the Indian government had enough. Air India was hemorrhaging money, and taxpayers were bearing the cost. The decision was made, Air India would be privatized. In October 2021, after multiple failed attempts, the Tata Group, the original founders, bought Air India back for 18,000 Indian rupees crores. It was poetic justice. The Maharaja was coming home. Ratan Tata called it an emotional moment. The airline that JRD Tata had built was back in Tata hands after 68 years. There was hope again. Under Tata ownership, Air India started showing signs of recovery. New aircraft orders worth $70 billion, improved customer service, modern livery and branding, better routes and scheduling, investment in technology and infrastructure. For the first time in decades, passengers started noticing improvements. The Maharaja was slowly regaining its lost glory. There was genuine optimism in the aviation sector. But this story of hope and recovery took a devastating turn just 2 days ago, on June 12, 2025. Air India Flight AI-171, a Boeing 787 Dreamliner bound for London with 242 people on board, crashed shortly after takeoff from Ahmedabad airport. The aircraft crashed into a medical college hostel, killing 241 passengers and crew members, with only one passenger surviving. The sole survivor, Viswash Kumar Ramesh, recounted how the plane crashed with speed into the hostel. He was seated in 11A, next to an emergency exit, which likely saved his life. This tragedy marks one of India's worst aviation disasters in decades. The Boeing 787 Dreamliner wreckage showed the aircraft's registration VTANB, a plane that was part of Air India's modernization efforts under Tata ownership. The story of Air India is a story of India itself, from the dreams of independence to the challenges of bureaucracy. From the hope of privatization to this tragic moment that has shaken the entire nation. As investigations continue into what caused this horrific crash, our hearts go out to the families of the 241 people who lost their lives. They were not just passengers, they were dreams, hopes, and futures cut short. The Maharaja's journey has been filled with turbulence, and now it faces its darkest hour. But if there's one thing we've learned from Air India's history, it's that this airline, like India itself, has the resilience to rise again.